Good evening, everybody. This is Mike Tedesco of Wrestleview.com.
And this is Victoria Tedesco.
And we're here to talk about an absolutely stunning episode of Monday Night Raw. The big news coming out right away is that Roman Reigns kicked off the show, and you could tell right away there was something up. You know, there was the rumors all week about, not all week, but, over the weekend that he was taking off the live shows. Maybe he was injured, but no one was really sure. He was seen working out in the ring today in Providence, but he came out in street clothes. Eyes looked red. I could tell something was up right away. I thought it was just an injury. You know what? I wish it was just an injury. It was not. Roman Reigns announced, he just said, I've been saying that I'm going to be a fighting champion and a workhorse, but I cannot fulfill that role because my name is Joe, the man behind Roman Reigns, and I have been battling leukemia for the last 11 years. He was diagnosed at 22, went into remission, and the leukemia is no longer in remission. He is battling leukemia. Roman Reigns, the top star in WWE, is battling leukemia and was forced to relinquish the WWE Universal Championship. And I thought that when it happened at around 8 o'clock, 8:05 Eastern Standard Time, that it would be a little easier to talk about, over 3 hours later. It's still not. I'm still numb. I'm still processing this. It is it's really, really difficult for anybody who loves wrestling, and to see how Roman Reigns loves this business. And the bad breaks, who cares about storylines right now? The guy in the ring is there every night. He's smooth. He's overcome a lot of bad booking, and he really, truly is the guy. There's no question about it. To see him go down like this is, it's difficult. Because when I interviewed Jeff Jarrett, I said, I love the art form of wrestling. I love watching people, create some sort of art in the ring. But mostly I get behind the real people. And like I said, Jarrett, I got behind him. I rooted for him to overcome his drug addictions and stuff like that. I am totally behind Roman Reigns, the man behind Roman Reigns. And I root for him to beat this leukemia and come back stronger than ever. And he did end on a positive note, saying that he will be back. He's going to whoop leukemia's ass once again, and he will be back. But in the meantime, it's a scary thought to think about, the human going through this. You watch these people every week, and you almost feel attached to them, like you know them. They're your friends. And to see one of them go through this, let alone the top guy, is stunning.
Yeah, I think we often forget, too, that, there are people. But I think tonight a good majority of the audience, understood that we're behind Joe. We support Joe. And for anybody who's, and it's you don't have to be ashamed if, because I read a lot of comments, throughout Instagram and YouTube and Twitter that some people were like, I feel terrible that I, been giving Roman Reigns a lot of heat over the years, through his title reign, or throughout his career. But it's not a matter of, people being against Roman Reigns, the person. They were against the company and what he was representing at the time of not organically getting through, but the fact that we can kind of all come together as fans and just be supportive of this man who clearly, no one even knew about this, from what you see in reports, no one even said oh yeah, it's tough to see that he has it back. The fact that he even had it to begin with, it was shocking enough. And he never ever, I don't think he ever wanted to come off as weak and be like, poor me who battled this. And and I think it's just kind of nice to see that he was able to even compose himself during that. I mean, he's such a true hero in my eyes to have the courage to come out and tell his story and relinquish his title in front of all these people.
Yeah, that's the really amazing part. I don't know when he got the news, but from the looks of it, no one knew. From the way it seems, it's very raw. I'm sure people just found out today. It's possible, and I have no sources on this whatsoever, but it's possible he may have found out today. Maybe something was going on. He got it checked out,
exactly.
and the results are in. This happened very fast. Usually things like this leak, so I'm assuming that very few people, probably just Roman, his family, and Vince McMahon, and Triple H maybe, and Stephanie probably knew, and that's it. This did not leak. It was a total surprise.
Yeah, I think that everybody,
I thought he was going to say, like, I tore my knee up or my shoulder.
When he came out,
I wish he did.
Absolutely. When he came out in his regular, absolutely. When he came out in his regular clothes, I knew something was up. And then when he said my name is Joe, I'm like, okay, something serious must have happened. And then when he started saying about, like, I battled leukemia for 11 years, I'm like, okay, so you had leukemia.
Right. I thought it was going to be going into, like, I battled leukemia and I met this kid, and they inspired me and this. I thought it was going to be a story.
But then
I
when
never
he said,
thought.
And it's back, and I'm like, wait a minute, did he just hear that right? I was just stunned, and I think throughout the entire night, and still even now, I was so distracted by that. Like it was really, really hard to watch tonight, and just everything. I don't think I fully have, like, any other segments or matches that happened tonight. I don't really think I can be too critical, only because
it's
I
like,
don't have, my mind was so not even there. Like, it's not that I didn't care about the other stuff, but I actually didn't care.
The first hour of the show was just, it was a total nothingness to me. Like, my mind was just a blur. It's like, when you get bad news, sometimes, unfortunately, everybody's had to hear bad news at some point in their life, and that feeling, and you get it, like, right here in your sternum, and it just, you feel everything just drop in your body. That's how I felt as soon as he said it. I was just floored by it. It's stunning, and you think that this guy has. I mean, we've all seen the PSA with his daughter, and they're doing the I'm a little teacup thing, and it's really cute. That's his kid. There's been bad situations, where he's gone to WrestleMania and people have scared his kid and said mean things and whatever in front, with the kid around and his family. Right. That's his kid. That's her daddy fighting leukemia, and he just had twins in December of 2016.
Yes.
And you feel for them, and you absolutely have to feel for his wife as well, and his family, his mother, his father.
It shows how it doesn't discriminate. It's not unfortunately a disease where, you can be the healthiest person in the world, and it doesn't matter. No, it's this man who has his money, a great family, good career, means nothing. But I am a firm believer that he's going to beat it.
Oh yeah, I believe so too.
Because he, in those situations, you have to believe you're gonna win the battle, and he's not going down without a fight. And I don't know what kind of leukemia he has. I don't know if it was the chronic or acute, but whatever the case may be, I think he's going to be 100% in full remission. If he can do it once, he can do it again. He just needs his time to be with his family.
Absolutely.
Get his body healthy.
And this is a guy who's extremely healthy. He's in great shape.
Right.
So he's got all the tools that he needs to beat this thing. And I believe he will. And I do believe him when he says that he will be back. And I can't wait for that. This is I can't even imagine the reception he's going to get when he does make his return. It's going to be like when Triple H returned after the torn quad in January of 2002 at Madison Square Garden.
Times a million, though.
Even louder.
Yeah.
Even louder. Because, you get a torn muscle, everybody expects you to come back. Torn muscle's not going to kill you. Leukemia can. Leukemia can kill you. And we don't know, and it's not, we're not going to speculate on what type of leukemia it is. There's many different types. If you start going on the WebMD,
you can't.
If you go on WebMD like you do when you get the sniffles and all of a sudden you're diagnosed with cranial cancer, just because you have the sniffles, it's not a good thing to go looking online and seeing, let's look up leukemia survivability rates and stuff like that.
No.
We don't know what type this is. We don't know what type it is. No matter what, it's bad to have any type of leukemia. It doesn't matter what type it is.
Right.
I believe he will beat it. And it's going to be a huge reaction when he comes back.
And I think for him too, I think it's good, I guess, that he caught it in time. You know what I mean? I don't know how far into it he is again with the stage that he's had it, but maybe because since he's had it before, he knows what kind of looked out for. And obviously, was something that didn't feel right to him, for him to go get it checked out. So the fact that he's being proactive about it is good. So I just
and Clinton right now in the Clinton Bowman and CJ in the chat room right now is saying he's thinking it's going to be a 2-year minimum return. He's had friends with many kinds of leukemia, and so he has some points of reference for this. The treatment standards, it could take a while. It might not. We don't know what kind of leukemia he has, but. A guy in shape, you never know. They can bounce back maybe quicker. Who knows?
My grandmother had it when she was in her 20s. I want to say for about 12 years or so. And then she got it again later on in life. But she beat it as well. So it really kind of depends on, every person's different. You know what I mean? But the fact that he's healthy, it definitely is right. Going in his favor, and the fact that he's having a good mindset of I'm beating it, like that. It's not even a doubt in his mind that he's not going to beat it. Yeah,
and like James Lacerenza says, it's just take all the damn time you need. Don't rush this.
Don't rush.
There's no need to rush it. And I don't think he will. And there's no way they're going to rush something like this. So
no.
Just get healthy. That's all we want. Is just for Roman Reigns to be healthy. Damn the storylines. Damn he's getting shoved down my throat. If you couldn't feel for this guy tonight, don't watch wrestling ever again.
No.
You don't deserve to watch wrestling.
I have to say,
you don't deserve it.
A good majority of people were supportive,
right.
And like I said, even apologetic.
Yeah, a lot of people feeling remorse that they booed him for so long.
Yeah, and even the people,
in my opinion, I don't think that people, sometimes maybe in the beginning they were booing him because they didn't like the promos and whatever, but at the end, if you're booing Roman Reigns, you're really not booing Roman Reigns. You're booing the mechanism behind him. You're booing the office. It's more of a protest at them rather than Roman Reigns. Because we've been to, how many shows have we been to by now?
Tons now. I mean, we're going again tomorrow. And
we're going to SmackDown tomorrow, and all of a sudden, just wrestling just doesn't matter. I could care less that we're going to SmackDown tomorrow. I could care less about Evolution on Sunday. This is. It's like everything has stopped. We have Saudi Arabia coming up. They're still doing this stupid show in Saudi Arabia. The country, the kingdom of human violations, and that just doesn't even matter either. The whole entire show
None of this matters.
Stops. The whole wrestling world stops because of this. And I forget where I was going with that, but
the bottom line is it's not people who were booing him, like even when he came out tonight, he even chuckled a little to himself before he made any sort of announcement because people were booing him, but well before the announcement he was chuckling. He's like, but it's that's just I mean, think about how people just boo John Cena just to boo John Cena at this point. People have a lot of respect for John Cena.
Yeah,
it's just part of the nature of being WWE. He doesn't take any offense to it. He knows.
It's just people just,
He used to.
People just feel bad and they think that, like, oh my God, I booed him.
I should have never done that. Yeah. We all did it.
You're just a fan. You're just being a fan.
Too.
You're just being a fan. You're booing. That's what people do. It's part of the show. He gets it. Everybody gets it.
Absolutely.
They can care less. But he is, by the end of this segment, everybody was cheering him. Thank you, Roman. This guy, it's, just beat it. Just beat it. That's all we want.
That's all we want.
But unfortunately, the show does go on. And the absence of Roman Reigns
we'll feel
for the time being leaves a big hole in the scheduling and probably the story, the long-term storylines of WWE right now. They are without a top guy for the first time probably since John Cena went down with the pec tear in 2007.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time they were without a real, true, bona fide top guy. Maybe when Daniel Bryan went down. Maybe that counts too. But they always had Triple H around, and stuff like that. So people were keeping it afloat. And Brock Lesnar was more readily available then too. And he was still face at the time. No, he wasn't. He was kind of heel. Yeah, but people still liked him. Anyway. So who's gonna be the guy that steps up and takes the spot? The other big news from tonight was Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in the main event of Raw defeated Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre for the Raw Tag Team Championships. To do that, Braun Strowman came out. They protected Drew McIntyre really well, and we'll talk about Drew in a little bit. They protected him real well by having Strowman come out and chase him to the back, leaving Ziggler there to get pinned by Seth Rollins after a stomp. And out of nowhere, by the way, there was a beautiful moment when Reigns walked off. Ambrose and Rollins joined him on stage. You could tell Rollins was visibly just crying. He was just beside himself.
Where I lost
he was
it.
beside himself, and they put out the fist and did that thing. So now we have this thing. They dedicate the match to Roman Reigns. They win the match. The fans are elated because of the emotions of tonight. It's more than just a fake predetermined match, a contest. It's real. And then they turn Dean Ambrose on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is going to be that guy. It's going to carry the torch for a while. I think he's very capable. They're going to put the title on Braun Strowman in Saudi Arabia, but I think Seth Rollins is going to be that guy, that big face. He's been there anyway. He has the reactions. He has the connection with the crowd. What do you think?
Well, you know what? I agree. I think Seth Rollins should be that person. I think he's definitely earned his right. He's been there before, well before the injuries and well before, everything else that kind of transpired throughout his career. I get where everybody's saying with, Dean Ambrose turning. I get it. The show must go on. I would have preferred maybe give it just another week. And I understand where people are coming from. When I was talking to Billy Hefner, he was explaining it to me about how, especially with the Shield with Roman Reigns not being able to continue now, the Shield has to break up obviously at some point. But I just wanted them to keep the humanity of just a few more, just till the end of the night. Do what you got to do next week, maybe.
See, I don't agree.
Really?
I don't agree at all.
I have to say, I just wanted to keep it till tonight. Let them finish it off of, having this dedication to him and just keep the humanity for just till the end of the night.
Yeah, they got their moment. They got the moment with the fans. I
don't know.
Getting their happy little moment.
I personally don't agree with
and
it.
Then they took it away from them because it's they got to go on with the show.
I know, but
the turning of Ambrose it's a big deal, and it gives the company some direction for the rest of the fall.
Agreed.
Because they were going to, I think they're going to stretch this Ambrose thing out a little longer, and unfortunately this thing happened to Roman Reigns, and it forced their hand. They have to speed up. They have to press the issue now. And you know what? It's the perfect time to do it.
But where do you justify it, though? Like, where do you justify the fact that you find out that one of your best friends is battling this condition, right? And you turn on your other best friend.
Right.
So
he's a heel.
Right, but where do you, I know, but where do you justify that? Like,
what do you mean, where do I justify it?
No, but for tonight, like, where do you find that
Where?
rational?
I see it as there's a lot of eyes on the show. I see a lot of people watching. I see what happened at SummerSlam when Becky Lynch turned on Charlotte, and people love turns. They don't care, if they love the person or what. The crowd just wants to be part of a moment. So you're going to get that turn, and people are going to go crazy, and they're going to love it just because it's a turn. We're seeing it. Here, they made it feel more real, and it really kickstarts Dean Ambrose as a real son of a bitch heel. It's not just like, oh, Dean's a heel, and we called it, and this is really cool, and we're wrestling fans, and we're so smart. And
I don't think anybody called it, though, tonight. I really don't.
Nobody called this one.
I don't think anybody called it.
No one called it. That was stunning. And you know what? On a night like this, where I've been, you're just numb with emotion, and you're numb with sadness for Roman Reigns as he has to battle this disease. I want to, at the end of the day, watch wrestling and for the entertainment, and I want to be surprised still. And that was as big a surprise, I think, as you could possibly get. It was pretty
I'm gonna
darn
have
good.
to respectfully disagree with you.
That's fine.
I just don't think it was right for tonight. I would have, me personally, maybe not everybody else, but me personally, I would have been just as excited for a turn next week.
But this is going to be a legendary moment now. I mean, this turn will be remembered forever. You're going to have I'm telling you, I would bet that the viewership numbers go up as the show goes on. You have all these eyes on the show, and you need a hot heel to carry the company right now, because Roman Reigns, the top merchandise guy, people, booed him throughout his entire run pretty much, but people buy tickets to see him too. And without him there, it's like when John Cena was taken off of live events, and the live event attendance dipped dramatically because they didn't have anybody to back it up. And people, as soon as you put John Cena on a card, places sell out because it's John Cena and people want to see him, regardless of how many people boo him at, the TV shows. People want to go out to house shows and see him as well. And those people that boo on the TV shows usually don't go to house shows. So Roman Reigns, being out, they need a hot feud to carry them through the fall and winter months. And that's going to be Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. And I'll tell you right now, if they had a house show in White Plains, New York tomorrow, I'd go out and buy a ticket to go see it, because if they're going to be fighting on that show, because this is a hot feud now. This is red hot, and they need to jumpstart a program for the in the absence of Reigns.
So I'll agree with you on the hot feud. I will disagree with you on the execution this evening.
Oh no, I thought the execution was great. I thought it was great, and the whole entire thing of him making Rollins apologize over and over again, and harping on lunatic time. He never mentioned Roman Reigns or anything like that. It wasn't like tasteless and stuff like that.
No, it definitely wasn't tasteless. But
it's just a show.
Not tonight.
Now it's the show. Like they had their real moment, and now it's back to the show, because they went back to the show right away. Even after the Reigns thing.
I would prefer the real moment continue.
I mean, maybe they could have stretched it out a little longer, but and let them hug and celebrate a little bit, pose on the turnbuckles and stuff like that. But when you get a moment like this, they're celebrating, they're hugging in the ring, and then all of a sudden, kick, DDT on those titles. That was stunning. I can't remember the last time I was truly stunned at a wrestling angle.
Okay.
Hats off to them for that.
That's fine.
It's pretty darn cool. So, yeah, that happened. What did Twitter think of this show before? We're gonna really, like, honestly, like, there's not much for us to
How do you
truly
rate
break
the show, though?
to truly break down. Yeah, it's like you give a thumbs down. Is like you're giving a thumbs down because you're mad that they went on with the show, or is it a thumbs down for Roman Reigns having leukemia? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know. But
I don't know how I rate the show.
Yeah, I can't give it a true rating
I'm just
tonight,
gonna
but
like not rate the show.
88%, 65 votes right now, and it's only been up for about half hour. 88% are giving it a thumbs up. I think for the emotion of it,
Right?
maybe
of course.
of course the angle. 88% maybe in support of Roman Reigns. Who knows?
Beating, yeah, absolutely.
It's yeah, and I have to agree. You know, I guess if I was forced to give a rating to the show, I would have to give it a thumbs up for that surprise angle at the end.
Right.
Thumbs up and support of Roman Reigns. Pretty, it was an emotional Raw. Very emotional.
Definitely emotional.
The first hour after the Roman Reigns thing, who cares?
Honestly, actually, for me, the whole show was kind of like a blur.
Yeah.
I mean, I there are definitely things I were into, definitely things like I said, I don't even think I could be critical of because I was like, my head was not there. My headspace was just not.
I don't even think the commentators knew about this tonight because when Roman
either.
Reigns came out, they were talking about his triple threat match at WWE Crown Jewel against Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. I'm sure if they knew, they wouldn't even be talking about Crown Jewel. It's just like, oh, here's the Universal Champion. Here he's coming to the ring. Blah, blah,
No,
blah.
because I think it was very, when Corey Graves was talking about how like our kids play together, and he was saying he's like, I had even no idea. Like,
Michael Cole's voice was just quiver.
Yeah,
he was
maybe
really
Renee
shaking.
Young knew. Maybe.
Yeah, but maybe she found out like right before it started.
Right, like me, possibly, but
Rollins was. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but it was something else. And when he left the title in the ring, that was a really, really powerful moment.
Oh my God, when I saw the pictures of it after, like, even though I watched Raw, obviously, when I saw the pictures of it on Instagram later, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's going to be a photo that's just, in whatever WWE books there are, packages, like, that right there is just history in the worst possible way.
Yeah. The and yeah, it was stunning. They opened up, trying to get the show back, just doing a show with Finn Balor and Bobby Lashley versus Bobby Lashley with Lio Rush in Lashley's corner. This you want to talk about disagreeing with the main event. This is about the only thing that I really, disagreed with was just the placement of this match to kick off the show. I didn't think that, even though Finn Balor went over on Lashley, I thought that sending Lio Rush out with a truly annoying gimmick when everybody's just processing things and you have this like nagging voice in your ear, like
I'm sure he was even like, really, I gotta come out and be this annoying little runt of a man. And like, you know what I mean? And just...
Yeah. I didn't care for the match all that much.
I didn't either, but I really, like I said, I can't be critical either way because I just...
I don't even... Yeah, I honestly don't even know if I cared for the match or what at all.
I have no idea.
I did think that they were attempting to, maybe, start treating some faces a little better. Give Balor a pin over Lashley.
That's a good point.
To try to, give everybody a little boost.
And I think too, because like, remember how you mentioned this,
Balor stinks, but
you mentioned this often too about his entrance. People love his entrance.
Yeah.
So maybe people just, it was kind of maybe a distraction.
Could be, but damn, Lio Rush was super, super annoying.
He was annoying.
And as it was going on, I was just like, why did they send this out? Like my jaw is still on the floor. I'm still picking up my jaw off the floor. And I'm having to listen to Lio Rush do his Lashley thing. I was just like...
I am telling you...
I'm not saying don't have the match at all.
No.
I'm just having it later in the night.
I'm telling you, Lio Rush definitely was thinking to himself, you've got to be kidding me. Everyone's emotional right now. And I got to be in everyone's ear, like, annoying the hell out of them.
Yeah. I didn't like it. I didn't think it was placed in the right
properly,
spot.
Yeah.
I didn't think so. Let's see. We had Sasha Banks and with Natalya and Bayley versus Ruby Riott. Banks, Natalya, and Bayley are going to face the Riott Squad on Sunday in a match of who cares?
I just love how Natalya just went.
Yeah, where's Natalya with Ronda Rousey?
Like,
what happened to that storyline?
Just died. I don't know. Like, they were just like, oh, never mind, they're not friends.
It's like no backup whatsoever with the Bella twins, who are supposed to be like, Natalya's total diva friends, like,
Right, and Natalya's like best friend. Like, where did
nothing? It's like the most bizarre thing. And then what, is she gonna like rejoin her after she takes on the Riott Squad?
And I couldn't judge Sasha Banks' face, because normally we're like, oh, she's gonna come out and she's like really happy or she's really sad but she probably was just emotional from the night.
Oh, everybody was.
You know what I mean?
Everybody
So
was stunned.
I couldn't even be like, oh, like, is she gonna win or lose because of her face?
Well, I think somebody must have tipped her off to like, you show it too much on your friggin' face when you're gonna lose. So she was smiling when she came out.
Maybe it was us.
It could be, but I mean, if we noticed it, other people have noticed it too. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, we're not the only
Sasha Banks. But there's something about her. She reminds me of like those kids that we went to like high school with. Like the kids that come from families with money, or they're related to a celebrity, and because she's related to a celebrity, she just seems like one of those people that just thinks that she's like really just like untouchable all it. I'm like, nah. Try again. Didn't this one I legitimately didn't think much of. It was just there.
No, that didn't matter about Lashley.
Most of the build, other than the contract signing, most of the build for Evolution, maybe that backstage segment with Trish and Lita too, but most of the build for Evolution tonight was just like by the numbers, lame stuff.
Nobody cared. Like, you can't. How can anybody possibly care about anything else tonight?
Well, I mean, I cared about the Ronda Rousey contract signing.
Yeah, I mean, that was cool, obviously. But what I'm saying is like, overall, I don't think.
But I mean, it's
but to grab your attention,
regardless of that, like this show has been written, and it's written to entertain. Like if this was just a regular Raw, this still would have sucked. That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
That's how I feel about it.
I can't argue with that one.
and to cap off just a truly devastating hour was a lame, boring D-Generation X responding to the Brothers of Destruction promo. They're acknowledging that they're old and Shawn Michaels making lame jokes about merch and stuff like that. Oh
my gosh. So Billy Hefner
painful.
And I were texting, and we were talking about how he was so funny. He was like, oh, how can this get any worse with like, the promos with Kane and Undertaker, and they beat it.
Yeah. I didn't think the Kane Undertaker promo was bad last week, but this week was just this week was the same crap as last week.
Cheesy. It was kind of like, I don't know. I felt like
it was literally the exact same thing they did last week, except Triple H and Undertaker were in the ring, just like.
But it almost seemed like, how they mentioned like
watching
with the Halloween movie, that Halloween 2 that came out this past week.
Oh yeah,
but that was just so like it almost just seemed like they were just like, oh, let's just go with the Halloween theme, and like somebody said like let's sponsor the movie.
No, they're just bringing up stuff because that's old that happens to be cool again. Guess what? It's Halloween. It's Michael Myers. And it's not considered. It wasn't like he made it sound like. Oh, this movie's 40 years old. It's like it's not. It's a sequel, and people came out for it. Whatever. Like,
and it's a Halloween movie. Like, relax.
Whatever. I just saw it was like just odd to refer to yourselves. I mean, everybody knows it. Everybody can see it, but it's odd to just say like, hey, we're just a bunch of old guys getting in the ring.
And sorry, not getting into it because. We all know my opinion.
Oh God, the Saudi Arabia
so
thing. I care less about Saudi Arabia right now.
I know, but I'm just saying I'm totally not into it.
And what was this thing about them saying like, oh, we've been running an X for the last 20 years. The X may be in the past, but there's another X that says they're better and speaks to the future, which started up an NXT chant. But they're bringing the X to Crown. I was like, what? Like that like what are they talking about?
And wait, and I'm sorry, where is Crown Jewel again?
No one knows. Interesting,
Where is it?
Interesting, rumors that Crown Jewel tickets were supposed to go on sale today in Saudi Arabia, but they did not because WWE has not confirmed with them yet that the show is going on.
It's taking place where again?
The Kingdom of Human Right Violations.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thought so.
Yeah, that place.
All right.
That place. Yeah, I would love, you know what? Like, we just caught like a very little touch of the Women's Revolution show that they're showing on the network right now. And they were talking about how the women are wrestling in the United Arab Emirates or Abu Dhabi. And have it there. If you're still committed to having a show in the Middle East, go there.
Right, where women are allowed.
Well, they're not allowed. They have to be covered from head to toe, but at least they're not going to be stoned to death or something weird like that, or taken into a consulate and interrogated and put into a chokehold, and that's how you die. And then they just, oh my God, well, he died. I guess we better take this hacksaw that we just happen to have on us and chop him up. That sounds like a good idea.
That's logical.
Yeah. Everybody's pulling out of Saudi Arabia. Even Steve Mnuchin, who is a creep, is pulling out of, meetings. Businesses.
I know that.
Yeah, members of the Trump administration are pulling out of things that
I knew. I didn't know about
in Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
So.
Okay.
So there's a thing.
There's that.
But if they're committed to having it in the Middle East, you can,
Abu Dhabi's your place.
Go there. How about that? Anyway, lame stuff. Kane and Undertaker did the exact same thing they did last week, pretty much, with just creepy video. The only thing that popped me just a little, ever so much, was Triple H saying, "Oh, you think you're going to intimidate us by taking a GoPro camera, going to the basement of the Knoxville County City Hall, and going into the boiler room to make veiled threats?" And Shawn Michaels says, "We're not running for mayor." I was like, "That's a cute little jab at Kane." I liked it. I liked it. I thought it was cute. But Undertaker and Kane, like the usual, "You should have stayed retired. I'm gonna bury you." And it's like, oh boy, let's move on. And speaking, I'm sure it's going to get you heated.
Me heated?
Even more.
Oh, gosh.
That the vacant WWE Universal Championship will be decided also at Crown Jewel. So they will get a champion by the end of that event. Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. Gotta imagine that Braun Strowman is going over. I can't imagine them not having the championship on and not having the top guy on the show as well for the remainder of who knows when we'll see Brock Lesnar again.
So they get a retirement match from Shawn Michaels,
right?
And the world champion.
And again, we are not talking about the fans. We're talking about this corrupt, despicable government. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one.
Yeah. Let's not say we did tonight. But they did send out Paul Heyman right after they made that announcement.
I really
and the opening of his, you could tell he was very, very misty-eyed and
well
very
before
emotional.
He came out, absolutely.
He said, he started off, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman, and my thoughts and prayers are with the champion of a man you know as Roman Reigns. It is humbling to be amongst the members of that locker room tonight and to have been in the presence of such courage and greatness." He was choking back tears the entire time, and he talks about how Reigns is the best, and he held the title and represented it well, and how, as a champion, he says that he wants to, show this and explain this to his children about sacrifice and how Roman Reigns sacrificed everything for the company. He didn't want to leave the title, just in, hanging in the balance. So he gave it up. And now what do? Roman Reigns doesn't want the title to stop, so it must go on, and at Crown Jewel, someone will try to prove they're worthy of being a champion. And that's when Paul Heyman did a masterful job of turning this from, real life emotion, and he did a masterful job of pulling it into promotion for this pay-per-view.
I agree with you. I think the transition was really nice. He did it very well. It wasn't tacky. No, not at all.
It was good.
I don't know how he did it exactly, but it was done really well. He was able to kind of, I don't know. I can't even explain how he did it. It wasn't like slow or fast, whatever. He just was able to kind of fluidly able to, I don't know. Really good.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. It was a good thing. And then they so he says about, Braun Strowman's not the guy. It's going to be Brock Lesnar. He's a beast. Strowman's not in Lesnar's league category, stratosphere. He's not even a member of the same species. That brings out Braun Strowman, who also had some really nice stuff. I enjoyed what he was saying.
Really good too.
He was awesome. And it turns out that Braun Strowman's a face again, which is a good thing as well. That's a good thing as well.
Yay.
He says that, he's going to beat Lesnar. He's going to beat him all over Crown Jewel. And he's going to take the title back to Monday Night Raw, even though it really hasn't left at all. And he's may have had differences with him in the past, but when Roman Reigns beats leukemia, he'll be first in line for a title opportunity, which I thought was a nice little touch. But for right now, Lesnar is going to get these hands. And he was turning to leave, and all of a sudden, boom!
Yeah, it's Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre with a sweet Claymore kick. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. That popped me because that just came out of nowhere too. So that was nice.
I liked the
nice little touch.
Good job, boys.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. Even though, again, not thrilled with the location.
Yeah.
But they're not doing a bad job of building it up.
No, just change where it is.
Anyway, so we get Elias out here.
Very shocking stuff tonight.
Okay, so last week he talks about how Apollo Crews interrupted him, so he's going to sing about it, and they send Apollo Crews out there to interrupt him before he can sing, so that upsets the crowd. He played this awesome riff.
Yeah.
Really, really awesome riff.
Absolutely.
Beforehand that got the crowd just really, really going. He got them tuned up.
He's so good.
He's awesome.
I feel like now more and more they're like really trying to showcase his guitar skills.
Yeah, and he's pretty darn. He's not bad.
No, he's really good.
He has to come up with a couple riffs every week. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I didn't. He beat Apollo Crews pretty handily. Really. No cheating or anything. It just was, he just beat him. He kind of kneed him in the face and just pinned him, which was fine. And I said, and I want to read my tweet. I said it was a nothing match with Elias and Apollo. Nice to see Elias pick up a victory. Elias has a real superstar quality about him. He does the same shtick, but it works every week in a big way. In my view, he should be a little further along than he is right now. So I was lamenting the fact that Elias just, he's doing all right, but he's not like, I feel like he's on another level that they just haven't, caught up with that yet.
Yeah, to me, it's too slow. I get it. You want to kind of like have a nice build, but at the same time, you got to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
He's too much of a gold mine to be like, oh, okay, let's just, because you don't want to waste a guy like that with all his potential.
No doubt. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was, I liked especially what they did later on, because they had this like weird angle with this another weird promo with Kurt Angle and stuff like that, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm old too. DX can say they're old. I'm old as well. Okay,
yay for old people.
And I am." Not getting any younger, and I'm definitely not the same competitor that I was. What the hell?
Listen,
that was like the weirdest thing.
People.
Come watch me in the World Cup to determine the best in the world, because I'm not the man I used to be.
I am old.
But maybe for one night
roar.
Maybe for one night I can be the guy I used to be. Wow. God. That got me fired up. But anyway, after that weird, bizarre, freaky
whatever
promo,
that was.
I don't even know how to describe it. It was crap, to be honest with you. We get Elias once again. He's on the stage and he says he's feeling good, and After his win, he wants to give the crowd some truth. And his truth is going to be interrupted by Baron Corbin, who...
Our favorite.
He was talking to Steph McMahon, so they got a lot of things coming. The show's got to keep running. And Elias says, yeah, he knows that Stephanie wants to walk with him and hear his performance. So he keeps trying, and Corbin keeps cutting him off, and the crowd's getting upset. And Corbin reminded him, you work for me, and if Stephanie didn't like you so much, I'd fire you. And he ordered him off the stage. And Corbin, Elias still tries to play a song, so Corbin has the production crew cut off his microphone and his guitar.
Yep.
But I did like the one lyric that he got in there real quick was that he's the lone wolf and he used to walk alone or something like that. But now he's a puppet with Stephanie's hand up his ass, which was I thought that was pretty funny. And then that's when he finally ordered him out of there. And so Elias walks off while the crowd's booing. And you think that's it. But no, Elias walks out. He will not be silenced.
No.
And he smashes Corbin in the back with his guitar. And the crowd goes, they were pretty damn happy. So now, is Elias a face?
I have to think so. What does the chat think?
I don't know yet. I remember seeing one thing from CJ saying that the Elias turn is going to be lit or something like that.
I agree. Listen. You know why I think it's a good move? Because, with the whole Seattle thing a few weeks ago, you're not going to get something like that again.
No.
Like, you can't really duplicate that and replicate that moment. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go for it. Like, let's evolve Elias a little bit and
just go for it.
I think he's the type of guy, in my opinion, he's got so much potential where he can really go either way. He could be either a really good heel or he could be a really good face.
Yeah.
As long as he's utilized properly, I could definitely see him.
I'd love
because he could still be like that, with his music.
I'd love to see him get a run as a face. I really would love to see that. And it looks like that's where they're going. Baron Corbin's going to be his first feud. I think Elias can make it he can make it entertaining. He can definitely make it entertaining.
If somebody's able to.
So we had a Raw Women's Championship contract signing for Evolution.
Oh my God.
With the Bella Twins coming out and Ronda Rousey.
Good.
And
so good.
I love Nikki throwing the shadow punches into
I'm sorry.
Bree's hands.
I am looking forward to this. I don't know how I feel about the rest of Evolution. I mean, I know we're going to it, so I'll be excited, and I'm looking forward to it.
I don't care about the rest. I care about Becky Lynch and Charlotte in the last man standing match.
But
and this match.
They really, and all week on Twitter and Instagram, these ladies have just been shade.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They built this up so nicely. Like I said, the only thing that doesn't make sense is that Natalya has not come to Ronda's defense, but everything about this is just magical. It's like in the Bellas too.
Yeah, the Bellas are great. The Bellas have been great. I love Nikki Bella's sneer
I love her sneer
when she's scowling and stuff like that. It was really funny.
like,
So they bring it. So the Bella Twins are in the ring. They bring out Ronda Rousey, and then the Bella Twins get out of the ring and they say, Ronda, you're here to fight, but we're here for contract signing. The last place we'd ever fight you is in Providence, Rhode Island. And that got boos from the crowd, which is a nice little touch. Ronda promised not to hurt them, so they get in the ring and promised that she wouldn't hurt them, and she's going to put both her hands behind her back. And if the Bella Twins can hurt her with both her hands behind her back, her mother would be ashamed of her because her mother was like a judo queen. And taught. She said. I remember reading a story that Ronda said that her mother used to attack her when she was sleeping to see if she could get out of submission holds, just instinctually. So Nikki gets in the ring and says, "Speaking of your mother, didn't you break your word when you said that you'd win a gold medal at the Olympics in judo, win championships like your mother did, and retire from the UFC undefeated? Your mother is already ashamed of you." I was like, "Whoa." Whoa! If you've been following them on Twitter, they've been sharing.
Oh.
They've been throwing some real good jabs at each other.
They have been like.
Nikki signs the contract, and then she slaps Ronda in the face, and Ronda's face immediately turned like red from the slap, and you can see it right here on this photo. If you can't see it, her upper cheekbone was just like totally red from the slap. That was a darn good slap. Ronda took the slap, she laughed, and then she said, "At Evolution, I will end you."
I will end you.
It was pretty good.
I loved it.
It wasn't pretty good. That was a really good.
I loved
really good
it.
segment.
I'm sorry. That was amazing.
Yeah, and it got me excited. And I'm sorry, Charlotte and Becky Lynch, I think deserves to be the main event, and I think that's going to be a phenomenal match. But don't sleep on this one. Don't sleep on Ronda Rousey versus Nikki Bella.
Don't sleep.
It's going to be better than you think, and they've done a good job with Ronda Rousey throughout, and I just don't think they're going to disappoint at all. I think this is going to be a freaking awesome match.
This is going to be amazing.
You watch. It's going to be way better than the Fatal 4-Way with Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, Tamina Snuka, and Ember Moon, which a Fatal 4-Way was given like a minute and a half. And it's funny because that little snippet of the documentary about the women's evolution was talking about 30-second matches. And I was like, matches. Well, this was a 30-second match too.
You know what though? This deserved it. No, I'm not trying.
Yeah, I was like, I just don't want to see Dana.
Sorry,
Brooke
you're not gonna go from like the Nikki Bella Ronda Rousey segment to that and be excited. You're just not.
I just don't want to see Dana Brooke wrestle at all.
No, and she's like, I'm gonna make history. I'm gonna win. I'm like, honey, you're gonna be the first one out of the.
Yeah. Watch Dana Brooke win. Just watch. Anyway, we got Titus O'Neil on the stage of breast cancer survivors, and a very nice moment.
Oh my god, they were so cute, the ladies.
Yeah, they're all dancing,
like pregnant, and like
it was
one
cute.
just got married. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I felt bad for the girl after the girl who got married, because it was just like, yo, this girl's pregnant and this girl's getting married, and here's this one.
Oh,
she's like,
so nice.
You know,
I think Titus O'Neil did such a nice job presenting.
He does a good job. The guy is just like doing everything.
He's a really good guy.
He's doing everything in the world.
He's a genuinely good person.
He's gonna fix global warming. This guy just is just doing
I think he
everything.
can run for president. I vote for Titus O'Neil.
Yeah, I go for that. I thought it was awesome. A very nice segment. We go backstage. Trish and Lita. I don't even know what the hell they talked about, because it's just like so hard. Like, it's just like, your turn, my turn, your turn, my turn.
No, but you know what I did like about this though? The attacks. I thought those were really, really good. I think Trish and Lita, I mean, I know they got attacked first initially, and then by Alicia Fox and Mickie James, but which you said, wait a minute, so Alexa Bliss reportedly has a concussion, you said?
Well, that was a rumor that I had
okay.
seen, but there was no Alexa Bliss whatsoever on the show tonight. They had Alicia Fox interrupt Trish and Lita, then Mickie James snuck up from behind, and it was Alicia and Mickie that were laying the boots to Trish and Lita.
But then when Lita and Trish attacked them, they're always so spot on, those two. They have
it's easy to attack too.
No, but they have great chemistry, and like. They, with them doing that, it makes you a little bit more excited. Like, I'm actually more excited for them to see them at Evolution. I don't so much like their talking segments. I don't think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they've ever been good on the mic, really. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they haven't. They have not.
But they're obviously their in-ring skills make up for that. So, like, it'll be interesting to see how they do on Sunday. But I think they're going to be really, really good. Like, I am semi-looking forward to it, just because their in-ring ability is just amazing.
Yep. Yeah, it's we'll see.
And that's I'm saying, but that's where they speak volumes.
Yeah, we'll see, and they'll obviously be protected in a tag match.
Of
but
course,
now the question is, Alexa Bliss definitely wasn't there tonight, and they don't do that for no reason. So, there's going to be something to it.
Do you think?
I'm sure she'll. There's always a possibility, especially if it is a concussion or whatever they're dealing with.
Seriously,
I mean, she's been injured for the better part of a month, and she just made the return at the house shows last week. So,
okay,
not good. and I don't think Alicia Fox is a fitting substitute.
I don't think she's a good substitute. If they go with that, I will be so upset. I really will.
So we get our main event now with Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose taking on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre for the Raw Tag Team Championships. We already covered this. Rollins and Ambrose defeat Ziggler and McIntyre after Braun Strowman made his run-in and chased Drew McIntyre away, and then Dean Ambrose turned on Seth Rollins, setting up WWE really nicely for the next few months with a red-hot feud on Raw. So that's the show. It again, at the end of the day, the wrestling itself doesn't matter. Thoughts and prayers are with Roman Reigns as he battles this terrible affliction of leukemia, something he's been living with. It's been in remission for 11 years, and now it's back. I have no doubt that he will come out victorious on this. And one more time, let's check out the Twitter poll, which has us at 87% thumbs up. So people are still enjoying the show. 84 votes. We have 10 hours left of voting. Again, yeah, so we kind of mentioned it before. I saw a lot of people saying thumbs in the middle is definitely, an acceptable option for tonight. I can neither give this a thumbs up or thumbs down. I can't rate a show like this, really. I think I said in the beginning of the show that I could give it a thumbs up, but I truly can't rate what happened tonight. It's half of it wasn't even a TV show anymore. It was just like watching, the friends of somebody, just grieving for, him having to go through something bad.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I don't think personally that I could rate the show either. I can't give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down because this is somebody's real life story. And I feel like we're going through this journey with him in some weird way. And I just wish him the best of luck. And the only thing that I will say is that I'm happy that he's so positive about it. And that I'm happy that he was willing to share with everybody what he was going through.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily just been like, you know what? I don't want to share it.
I don't want to go out there and
I could have Stephanie or Triple H or Vince McMahon explain it to everybody. Let me do my own thing. I don't want to talk about it. I just want to do. But the bravery that he showed in being that vulnerable with that audience is just incredible. Yeah. So, and the fact that he said this is not a retirement speech. This is I have to fight this. I'm going to win. And I will come back. Yep. Stronger than ever.
Good stuff. So like Quentin says, we'll give it a thumbs in the middle like the bar. The bar. The thumbs in the middle thing.
Yes. No,
I don't know what the thumbs in the middle thing means for the bar. But I know thumbs in the middle is, that's just like, can't rate the show. So that's that. That's Raw for tonight. Again, totally stunning, and still a lot to process over the next few days. I think our Saudi Arabia talk probably upset a few people tonight, but whatever, who cares?
Why? Why do you say that?
Care? Yeah, I see a couple comments in the chat from somebody, but oh well, can't. Yeah, it's our show. We can say what we want. That's why we have it, and it's to get people talking. Anyway, so. That's that. We thank everybody for listening to us tonight, enjoying us on YouTube live with us right now. We thank you for listening to us on Spotify and iTunes and however else you get your podcasting experience done. We're just happy to be here. Next week is lucky number 13 as we head into Saudi Arabia. So
that's kind of fitting, actually, for like the Halloween spirit. Like
Halloween time. Yes, Halloween week too.
It will be coming up.
Our 13th show, but 12 is a round number, so that means that we've been doing this for 3 months now. So that's a pretty good run.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 months since August. Pretty much. Yeah, the beginning of August. Sounds pretty good. Almost 3 months. About. I think we have like another week to go or so, but. It's been fun. We're enjoying it, and we hope you're enjoying it with us. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in tonight.
Good night, everybody.
I'm Mike, and that's Victoria. Ciao.
Bye.